Hi everyone, let's continue our graph series, and from today we are going to start doing the questions, and we will start from this question called find if the path exists in the graph. And it's a very basic question to start the graph. So let's see what the question is saying. It says there is a bidirectional graph with n vertices. So that means you have n vertices, which is, if you look at this example, let's say n is 3, so you have 3 vertices or 3 nodes, right? Okay, bidirectional. So this is just a confusing term. You don't have to go on bidirectional. Bidirectional just means it's not having a direction, right? So you remember that there is a directional graph and there is a non-directional graph, right? So this is basically a non-directional graph. That means if there is a vertex, so let's say 1 is joined with 2, that means you can go from 1 to 2 or 2 to 1, both are possible, right? You can go both ways. Okay, so where each vertex is labeled from 0 to n minus 1. Okay, so if we are talking about n vertices, which is 3, let's say, so we are basically talking about vertex number 0, 1 and 2, right? So that's our 3 vertices. Then the edges in the graph are represented as a 2D integer array where edges of I is u comma v. U is our source and v is the destination. So u and v are two vertices joined together using that edge, right? So if we look at this, this is how the inputs will be given. So what are all the edges we have in this input? We have 3 edges, which is 0, 1 and 2. And what is the, so how are those edges joined? So one edge is in between 0 to 1 is in between 1 to 2, and then 2 to 0. You can look at that, right? So these are our edges, right? So do you remember this is also called an edge list? So this kind of input is given a lot of times to you in the questions. You will be given an edge list which has a lot of edges with the vertices which are joined to form that edge, right? So like 0 and 1 are joined to form one edge, and then these two are joined to form another edge. So that's how the input is given, right? So you understand that this is how the graph will be shown to you. Now what are they asking? So it says every vertex pair is connected by at most one edge and no vertex has an edge to itself. That means at least one edge is going from every single vertex. So 0 has at least one edge, it has basically 2, and then 1 has at least one edge. Every single vertex or node has an edge, right? Okay, and then no vertex has an edge to itself. So it's not like you can go from 1 to 1. So okay, I'll show you one thing. So you can have an edge to yourself actually. So if you had a graph like this, you could have an edge like this, but you don't. That's what the question says. You don't have an edge like this, which is 1 to 1 or 0 to 0. You don't have a self edge, right? Okay, that's what it says. Now you want to determine if there is a valid path that exists from vertex source to vertex destination. So we are given a node, so a source node and a destination node, and we want to check if it's a valid path to go from a source node to the destination node. We want to check if it is valid to go from source to destination. Okay, and this is all what is given to you. You can return true if there is a valid path, otherwise you can return false, right? So that's what the question is. So let's say we look at this example. There are 3 vertices, which is these 3, and these are the edges, which are these 3 edges, the lines in between. And then we said, okay, they said that the source is 0, so they want to start as 0, and then the destination is 2, so they want to go to 2. So we want to check if it is possible to go from 0 to 2, right? So that's what we want to check. Do you understand the question? I hope you do. So now let's move to the solution. Let's understand the question a little bit more. So this is the example, right? Now, do you remember in the last class, in the last lesson, we have discussed how to store a graph, right? So this is one way to store a graph, which is our edge list. But do you remember the most important way to store a graph? We talked about it. It's called adjacency list, right? Because that adjacency list tells you that this edge, okay, it tells you that this node is connected to this and this node, and then another node is connected to this and this node. Okay, I'll show you what I mean. So if I had to make an adjacency list, I would have made it like this. I will start with a dictionary where I will place all of my nodes as keys. I hope you remember it from the last lesson. So every key is basically a vertex, right? A node. Now there will be a list in front of every single vertex which will contain the vertices it is connected to, right? So 0 is connected to 1, so we'll put 1. 0 is connected to 2 also, so we'll put 2. And 1 is connected to 2 and 0 both, so we'll put both. 2 is connected to 0 and 1 both, so we'll put both. So this is how an adjacency list looks like. But as if you remember, I told you that this adjacency list can be converted into this. You know why? Because our nodes are 0, 1 and 2, and that is basically the index 0, 1 and 2. These are the indexes. If we talk about a list containing lists inside it, so this list is at index 0. This is at index 1. This is at index 2. So we don't even have to make a dictionary. We can directly make a list of list because this 0 node has these 2 nodes connected to it, 1 node has these 2 connected to it, and 2 node has these 2 connected to it, right? So this is how we will make our adjacency list. So before we work on any graph question, we have to convert the graph into a format in which we can work on. So we will convert it into an adjacency list, right? Because that's the most effective one. Do you remember it takes O of v plus e time complexity? So it's the most effective way of storing a graph. So we made that. Now think about it. How will you do this question? You have to check if you can go from 0 to 2. So basically you start at the source, which is 0, right? So if we index it, this is index number 0, right? And we are talking about the source 0. So we will start at index 0 and check that the source 0 is connected to what other two vertices. So it's connected to 1 and 2. So what do you think we should do? We have to move in the graph to check if 0 can reach 2, right? So what should we do now? So we are on 0. Should we move ahead and go to 1? We should, right? Because it's one of the neighbors. So now from 0 we will go to 1, right? Now when we go to 1, 1 is not the destination itself. We should always keep on checking if the 1 is the destination. It's not. We didn't reach the destination yet, right? But we should always check if this is the point we already reached the destination. Okay, so 1 is not the destination. Now we are on 1. From 1, where can we move? So this is index 1. So what are all the vertices 1 is connected to? It's 0 and 2. So basically from first, so the vertex number 1, we can move to 0 vertex or 2 vertex. So I will move to the first one, which is 0, but should I move it? Should I move there or not? Am I not going back and then 0 will take me back to 1 and then 1 will take me back to 0? That just keep on happening, right? So do you see something is missing? I reached from 0 to 1. Now I cannot go back from 1 to 0. That's a problem because otherwise I'll keep wandering around from 0 to 1, right? So I have to put a condition that if I already visited 0, I should not come back to 0, right? So when I reach 1 and 1 says my neighbors are 0 and 2, we will say okay, we'll try to go to 0. Oh no, but 0 is visited, right? I cannot go to 0 again. So then I'll try to go to 2 then, because 0 is done. So then 1 will go to 2. Now we will check again. Is 2 the destination we wanted? And it is, because destination was 2. We wanted to go from 0 to 2, right? So we started as 0, that's the source, and then from 0 we'll go to the 0 index of the adjacency list. We'll check that from 0 we can move to 1 or 2. So we will move to the 1, which is the first vertex we can go. So we'll go to 1 from 0. Now when we reach 1, 1 will check now. So every time we reach a node, we will always check if we can even go there or not. So even to go to 1, we need to check if 1 is already visited or not. In our case, it was not visited. That's why we could visit it, right? So we visited 1 and then we go to the index 1 and check that 1 is connected to which all other vertices. It's 0 and 2. So then from 1, we can go to either 0 or 2. But when we try to go to 0, it is already visited. So we can't go to 0 anymore. So we will go to 2 then. We can go to 2, right? The second neighbor. We will always keep on going to every single neighbor, right? So we'll go to the 2, and 2 is the destination itself which we were searching for. So the moment the source is equals to the destination, we will return true, right? So that's what we want. Like basically whenever at the point we reach the destination, we will say we reached it and it's true. Otherwise, if we couldn't reach it at all after going through every single node, every single neighbor, all of them are visited now but we couldn't reach it, then it's a false, right? Now I don't want to code it. I want to show you the code, explain it, and then you can remember it, because remembering the code is really, really important. I could explain you a lot of questions like this, but if you don't remember the template, you will be stuck again, because you won't be able to do the same thing in the interview again if you don't remember it. So now let's see the Python solution, and the Java and C++ are exactly the same. So this is our Python solution, right? Okay, so what do we have? This is a function given to us, the valid path function, and as you know, we have an n, which is the number of vertices, the edges, which is a list of edges, and then the source node and the destination node. And what do we have to return? We have to return true or false, which is Boolean, right? So we first try to make a graph. What is a graph? It's our adjacency list, right? So what is an adjacency list? It's a list containing lists. How many lists will it contain? It will contain a list for every single node. How many nodes do we have? Let's say we have 0, 1 and 2 nodes. So one list will be for the 0 node, one list for the first node, one list for the second node. That's what we are going to do. That's why we created how many lists? 3 small lists, and we are going in n, so that's 3 basically. So we created an adjacency list which is empty right now. The little list don't contain anything inside them. Okay, so we made our empty adjacency list. Now we are going to fill it. So we go to every edge, and because every edge contains vertices which are bidirectional, right? They don't have direction. So if there is an edge from 0 to 1, that means you can go from 0 to 1 or 1 to 0, right? So in the graph, how will we make the graph? You remember the graph looks like this. For 0, the 1 is existing in it, right? also for 1, 0 exists in it, right? So for 0, 1 exists, and for 1, 0 exists. So that's what we are going to do. When we go to an edge, we put that one vertex. Okay, every edge contains two vertices, right? So if we talk about an edge, there is an edge between 0 and 1, right? So the 0 edge will be connected to the 1. So we will go to the 0 index in the graph and append 1 as a vertex into it for the connection. So it will look like that at 0 index I have 1 in the list. And then at 1 index also I will have 0 in the list. So I'll do that for every single edge, because every single edge is connected using two vertices, right? So I'll go to the index of the first vertex, append the second vertex in that, and then I'll go to the index of second vertex and append the first vertex into it. So it will make our whole adjacency list. And then we are going to make our visited. You remember we were going from 0 to 1, right? And then we were trying to go to 0 again, which we should not do. Otherwise we will be in a loop, right? We don't want to do that. That's why we will always visit. We will mark those nodes as visited, which we are already gone through, right? So that's why we are going to make a list which contains false for every single node. How many nodes we have? N. So all of the nodes are not visited initially, so everything is false. And then, so this function which they will provide you, it just contains the code for making the graph, for making the visited list. We are not doing any logic, code logic in this function. We will do the code logic in another function, which is DFS function. So we are going to call the DFS function by passing the graph we just made, the adjacency list, the source, the destination, and the visited list. Now in the DFS, we will start by checking if the source is equals to destination, because maybe the source where we have started at, like 0, it's already a destination. So it's already the destination we are searching for, so we don't want to go ahead, then we will just return true. Otherwise, so if the graph looks like this, we are going to visit the 0 node, right? Because we are on it. We will visit our source node, which is 0. And then we'll go to the neighbors of the source node. So we'll go to every single neighbor one by one, which is 1, 2, right? We'll go to the first neighbor first, which is 1. And that is not visited. We will only go to the neighbors which are not visited. So we will check if the 1 is visited, and it's not. So we will now do the same thing with 1, because you remember now we are going to find the ways from the 1. So from 1, where can we go? We could go to 0 and 2, right? You remember from the example, from this example, from 1 we can either go to 0 or 2, right? So we'll put those, and then we'll just try to do that DFS, the whole logic again, but for 1 now. So what's going to happen? Now the neighbor is going to become our source. So our source is 1 now, right? Because that's where we are now. The destination is still 2, right? So then we are on 1, we want to go to 2. Is it matching? Is 1 is equals to 2? No, they are not. We are not on destination yet, but we are on the way. So it's not true. We didn't find our destination, but we can mark our 1 as true because we already visited it, right? So we visited the 1. We will go to the neighbors of 1 now, which is 0 and 2, right? Now in the neighbors of 1, we got 0 and 2, but we can't go to 0 because we can only go to the neighbors which are not visited, right? So we won't go to 0, we'll go to 2, but, right? So we'll go to 2 and then do the DFS for 2. Now our source node became 2, right? Now we will check again, is my source equals to destination? Yes, my source is 2 right now, because every time my source is becoming the next neighbor, because from there I'm trying to search for more path, right? So then my source is 2, my destination was 2, they match, and then we return true. Okay, so this is how we perform a search if we want to go from a source to destination. Now I explained you the code, but you are going to remember this code so that you can do the next question. It's very easy to remember it. You just make the adjacency list, you make the visited list, and then in the DFS you just check if the source is equals to destination, mark your current node as visited, go to its neighbors, only go to the neighbors which are not visited, do the same DFS on them. If any of them reached the destination, then return true. If after going through all the neighbors nobody could reach the destination, then it's false. No other choice, right? So that's what the code logic is. Now you can remember the code. This is the C++ version of it. Only the for loop changed, the way we write the not changed, everything else is just the same. So I can post these all codes in the chat and you can look at it. So we are done with our first ever graph question, and I'll show you other questions related to the same pattern. So you can remember this pattern so that you can do the rest of the questions I'll do in the next video. So I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye bye.